that is now live
Yes.
on Rivals. Get over to rivals.com and read about who was on campus at Texas today. 2 flip targets. Our man, Sam Spiegelman, colleague, reports Baylor top 100 defensive line target. Jamarian Carlton was at the game today. LSU Rivals 300 offensive tackle commit Bryson Martinez was also there. I spoke with Carlton after the game. The vibe was good, and the Longhorns are a good team, and it's always fun to watch the defense get after it, Carlton said. Now, there were times where it looked like he was trending Texas. I've had my prediction on the Longhorns at various points in the recruitment of Jamarian Carlton. In fact, I had Texas early and rode it out through some ebbs and flows, thinking it would come back to Texas. Baylor got it done at the end of the summer, but Texas looks to be alive in this one. Things that he's always liked about Texas. They have a great reputation of producing dogs, his words, not mine. I'm glad that I have the opportunity to be with the Longhorns. He has said before, Bryson Martinez, Louisiana kid that popped for the Tigers. We'll see what develops in that one, who LSU hires, but we have seen Texas go into that state and have success on the recruiting trail. So them getting Bryson Martinez on campus certainly raises my antenna. How about linebacker Karan Maycock, committed to Florida State? He's out of Miami Central, one of the more coveted players in the Sunshine State on defense this fall. He told me so far, I'm loving it, feels great, great players and coaches. And coming into the trip, he was said, whatever happens, happens. Just got to make the best decision for me. So the door was wide open for Florida to run through, or for Texas to run through it. Looks like they're doing that so far. He has talked about the Longhorns' ability to produce at every position to the league, has said the coaching is great. Texas has a chance to make it back to the college football playoff for a second year in a row. Vanderbilt, one of the hottest teams in the country, coming into this ball game, and the Longhorns jumped all over them. Had some injuries in this ball game that they were able to play through and get a win. And this is a Texas team. If you're pointing to this season, you talk about the resiliency, the culture. And when it wasn't long ago where Steve Sarkisian was just getting to Texas and he had to fix the culture and he had to fix the toughness of this football team. They were powder puff soft around the line of scrimmage. Now they have dudes around the line of scrimmage. These were games where they would have lost early in the Sarkisian era and before. They're battling, they're fighting. They even on the road at Ohio State, they fought all 4 quarters, had a chance to win it in the 4th quarter. They come back and beat Mississippi State last weekend, cowbell down multiple scores, hang on and beat a very good Vanderbilt team playing at a high level with a Heisman candidate under center. They just got to keep stacking wins, get into that college football playoff, and continue to improve, which I think you'll see under this coaching staff in November. And then they had some great players in 2027, Josh, on campus today too.
Yeah. And we're going to talk about those guys in a second. I got a quick follow-up to Jamarian Carlton. Do you think this has anything to do with Drake Quinn and maybe Drake Quinn trending more so to Ohio State, maybe even Tennessee? I mean, we haven't – ever since his decommitment from Clemson, he still hasn't shown up yet in Austin. I'm not saying he couldn't in the next 4 or 5 weeks before signing day, but maybe seeing Jamarian Carlton on campus kind of shows a shift in where Texas is looking.
Well, potentially, but I'm not sure. I mean, this is news that just kind of developed today. So I'm still gathering intel on where Jamarian Carlton fits in. Texas has always loved Drake Quinn. When Drake Quinn decommitted from Clemson, sources with knowledge of that recruitment said that Texas led. When Drake Quinn visited Ohio State earlier this season, the vibe was got to make a move on Texas. Now, that doesn't discount Tennessee, who's getting an official visit later this month. The Balls are certainly in the thick of it. Miami had them on campus last weekend. Yep. And so the Hurricanes trying to charge hard for Drake Quinn. Texas, they just look for championship level players. We saw them make a run to the number 1 class at the end of last year's cycle. We know that Sarkisian, Brandon Harris, this coaching staff has some things up their sleeve. As the early signing period approaches here, we are just about 1 month away from the early signing period, December 3rd. This is where Texas starts to cook, especially if they're playing well on the field and the college football playoff push continues. They have the eye of some terrific players down the stretch. Where does Jamarian Carlton and Drake Quinn and all these guys fit on the board? I'd take them both, but it's easy for me to say that. We'll know soon on Texas's board and things of that nature moving forward.
Yeah, it's not your money. All right, let's talk about some of these
Not Sark's money either, baby.
Let's talk about some of these star 2027s on campus. Diabell was there. He's the superstar 2026 quarterback that is committed, but I bring him up because Texas was hosting number 1 wide receiver in the 2027 class, Easton Royal. Did they roll out the burnt orange carpet for him today?
There's no question. I talked to Easton Royal after the game. His words about Texas's position for him early in his process, strong contender. He said he was very impressed, loved the way that this offense came out, said it was the best Arch Manning has looked this season, which means he has been tuned in all year. This is definitely one of the front runners in his recruitment. He loves that here's something that Texas did that was unique today for Easton Royal. He's our number 1 ranked receiver in the country because he has unique traits, and one of them is he can fly. And the Texas football staff had him meet with the Texas track coach, and he's pursuing doing that in college, he said, and they have been the only college so far to link him up with the track and field program. So that was a nice little niche. Obviously, what Steve Sarkisian has done historically with wide receivers is enticing to him. The program, we know in the modern recruiting era, Texas can go toe-to-toe with any school if it's a prospect that they absolutely covet. And you see the film of Easton Royal. He is one of the best bets in the 2027 class to have an outstanding college career. He is a touchdown waiting to happen, uber explosive, confident, and has all the intangibles you're looking for from the type of kid he is, type of teammate he is, and type of competitor he is. Texas is going to go all in on Easton Royal, and they are a strong contender right now at this point in his process. Certainly LSU is going to get a keen look, but they have a coaching change, so they lose ground on a relationship standpoint. Well, they'll get a jolt when they get a new head coach in there. They'll get some new assistant coaches in there. But right now, there's no more relationship building that's really that relevant until the dust settles. Obviously, Frank Wilson, he's a mainstay at LSU, but who will be coaching me? Who's going to be calling the plays? Who's the head coach? Those are things that are kind of on pause right now for LSU. He really likes Oregon. He really likes USC. He really likes Ohio State. Florida was another school that he liked a lot, but they're on pause, obviously. But Texas is on the gas, all gas for Easton Royal, who had a fantastic visit. He's going to go out west on his next couple trips, see the Ducks, see the Trojans. Yeah. He's actually, his last trip of the year is going to be the Gators, man. Florida, FSU, Thanksgiving weekend. Is Florida up 10-7 right now still?
Florida's up 10-7 as we creep towards halftime.
The Gators getting rid of ultimate nice guy, Billy Napier, before this game, just in case he would have won it.
All right, Texas fans, let's talk about the win over Vanderbilt. Arch Manning looked a lot better in this one, looking more comfortable. And, you know, I know we're 10 games into this thing, but maybe, just maybe, things are starting to click for Texas. We're going to find out for sure next week as they take on Georgia. But today, Texas gets their top 10 win, comes over Vanderbilt. Talk to us. How you guys feeling? Comment section below.